I have this very vivid moment in 2015 when I was sitting outside the library and I found this story of Adidas making a prototype sneaker out of confiscated illegal fishing gear from the Southern Ocean. And that sneaker is what made this like light bulb moment for me that fishing gear is made out of plastic. So I ended up getting a job as a fisheries observer, which is a scientist that goes on board commercial fishing boats. There were just mountains, like literal mountains of nets all over the place. All the fishermen in Bristol Bay, basically their boat is a small business. So all of these businesses need to introspect and look at their operations and see where there are ways that they can reduce resource use and consumption. And the nets need to be stripped. The cork line needs to be removed, the lead line needs to be removed, and the twine needs to be removed. Fishermen will drop off the nets at our collection spot.
This is like seaweed, so that's not great for recycling. They say no organic material, so no fish heads, no sticks, no seaweed. It's a lot of work now, but ultimately the idea is that as fishermen learn about this, then they will be doing this themselves, so it won't be a lot of work for us, and we'll just be able to toss this right into the baler.
The recycling company then grinds up the bales of nets, melts them, and makes little beads of plastic. This is gill net that has been shredded into these little pieces. The second step is to make densified plastic, and the third step in the process is to make nice pellets that can be used in a variety of manufacturing applications. An example of a brand and manufacturer partnership that uses nylon waste in their product is between Aquafil and Grundéns. And what Aquafil does through a depolymerization process is to take both pre- and post-consumer waste, which includes nets from both the aquaculture and fishing industry. They mix that with carpets and they manufacture a regenerated nylon fiber that's called EcoNyl. And Grundéns uses that to make products like leggings, board shorts, and pants. These products are sold back into the apparel fishing industry to ensure that the nylon waste that was headed to the landfill is put to a better use.
Community of Naknek, swells from 1,500 people to 30,000. We leave very little behind except our waste.
Since the first day that I got here, I've just been marveling at like what nature is capable of producing.
This is the greatest salmon run, always has been, but it really is the last. I mean, it's just totally wild, and these fish are stronger than ever. What Nicole is doing is just too cool. I mean, we go through a lot of web. It's an education thing, absolutely. So it's gonna take some time, and I think what Nicole is doing, she just drives around and yells at us all as they're stripping her net, and I think it's working pretty darn good.
I think the reason I focused on nets is because I have a connection to that industry and it wasn't being done. In Bristol Bay in particular, we've estimated that 150,000 pounds of nets are thrown away every year. So the fishery is prosecuted for 6 weeks. At the end of that 6 weeks, fishermen strip their nets and get rid of them because they have holes in them or they're worn out. There was a factory that accepted these nets and ropes. That was what the factory was specifically built for. I was like, oh, well, I know where there's a shitload of those, so why don't we just move those from point A to point B? Like, I had no idea how freaking complicated this whole thing would be.
To just sit here and watch it and have people come up to me and say, yeah, we stripped our net today and we got all the twine out of it. It's really cool. It wasn't that big a deal. I go, yeah. We moved the pile of sand one grain at a time.
Nets that are not recycled on land go to the landfill, which is a shame because that is just wasting very valuable petroleum resources. That is sort of my motivation for Net Your Problem and how I live my personal life too, which is just to make the most minimal footprint that you can have on the earth. When I come back to a place to recycle. I know people, I ask about their kids, I bring them their favorite beer. That's what you would do with a friend. We have a bond and we are working towards the same thing.